Objective, slope and rate of change. Definition number 1, the rate of change is the relationship between two quantities that are changing. We say this is the dependent variable divided by the independent variable. Definition number 2, slope is a number that describes the steepness of a line. Slope is a kind of rate of change. So remember, rate of change is a special relationship, and slope is the number that defines this relationship. We use the letter M to define the slope. It's the vertical change divided by the horizontal change. This is the change in y's over the change in x's. Number 1, if you have the graph of a line and want to know the slope, use rise divided by run. Oftentimes you'll hear people say rise over run. So I have an example. You'll want to get some graph paper so you can go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so we have this line and it has two ordered pairs, -1, 1 and 4, 3. And we want to find the slope of this line that's in green. So we can draw a triangle and find the 2 points. Find the triangle that connects the 2 points. So -1, we go up 2 and to the right 5, and we'll end up at the other point. So if we start here, go up 2, right 5. So I have two ordered pairs, and I'm talking about the rise over run. So rise, I went up 2, and to the right 5, that's +5. So if you go up, that's positive, and you go right, that's also positive. So 2 over 5, +2 over +5. This is our slope. Another example. I have the slope of this line in green. Now, I have two ordered pairs. This ordered pair is -1, 5. And this ordered pair is 4, 2. So to go from one to the other, I could start here and I would move to the left 5 and down 3. But since we talk about rise over run, well, let's start here. This is the lower one. And we'll go up 3 units and then to the left 5. So rise, up 3, over run, that's left and right. So we go left 5. Now moving to the left is like going to negative on the number line. So I have 3 over -5, and you can rewrite that as -3/5. So this has a negative slope. This one has a positive slope. All right, finding slope given 2 coordinate points. So if we're given 2 ordered pairs, how do you find the slope? Well, we have this formula. The algebraic formula for finding slope is m equals y⁻² minus y⁻1 divided by x⁻² minus x⁻1, where x1, y1 is an ordered pair and x2, y2 is another ordered pair. These are points, and when we subtract x2 minus x1, we do not equal 0. We cannot have 0 in the denominator of a fraction. Big number 2, the x-coordinate. So x1 or x2 that you use first in the denominator must belong to the same ordered pair as the y-coordinate you use first in the numerator. So you see x2 and y2, they come from the same ordered pair. I used both of them first in the numerator and the denominator. I cannot use x2 here and y1. Okay? They both have to come from the same ordered pair. These would have come from 2 different ordered pairs. So example number 1, you're given point A, and this is the name of the point. Point A is -2, 1, and point B is 5, 7. Those tell you the location of those 2 points. And the first thing that I like to do is to label them. So I chose this as my first point, so this is the first x value, this is the first y value. x1 is -2, y1 is 1. x2, this is the second order pair. The first x value, or the x value in the second order pair is x2, so it's 5. And the second y value is 7. So using the slope formula, m equals y⁻² minus y⁻1 divided by x⁻² minus x⁻1, we're going to plug in these values. So y2 is 7. So instead of y2, I put 7. Minus, because there's a minus in the formula, y1 is 1. So plug in 1. Divided by, that's part of the formula. X of 2 is 5. So I plug in a 5 right there. Minus, because it's part of the formula. X1 is negative 2. So minus negative 2. And I don't like to write two signs next to each other, so I put parentheses around it. Or, you know that minus and negative means plus. So really this says 5 plus 2, which is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. So 6 divided by 7 is our slope, 6/7, or 6 over 7. Example number 2. Again, I have two ordered pairs, and I'd like to go ahead and label them. Now, I want to show you that you can choose either ordered pair to be the 2's and either ordered pair to be the 1's. So I chose this as x sub 2 and y sub 2, and this one as x sub 1 and y sub 1. And again, I label them to keep myself on track. So m is the slope. M equals y sub 2, so negative 1, minus y sub 1, negative 6. Again, minus a negative means plus. So negative 1 plus 6 is 5, divided by, so in the bottom, x sub 2 from the formula is 0, minus x sub 1, which is 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 5 divided by a negative 1 is negative 5. So the slope is negative 5. Now we have some special cases. Horizontal and vertical lines. Find the slope. So you're given the graph, you're given two ordered pairs. You can see that this is a horizontal line. And you can use the slope formula to find the slope. So plug in y sub 2 minus y sub 1, so 2 minus 2. X sub 2 minus x sub 1, so 3 minus 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. 0 divided by 3 is 0. So the slope is 0. If you were a person walking along a horizontal line, this would be like walking across a floor that has no steepness. So a horizontal line has a slope of 0. That's big number 3. The slope of a horizontal line is always 0. In this example, we have a vertical line. You'll want to draw these. So I have two ordered pairs on the line. I can plug them into the slope formula. I labeled them x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, and plug them in. So y sub 2 is negative 1, minus y sub 1 is 4, x sub 2 is 4, minus x sub 1 is 4. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. 0 minus 4 is 0. I'm sorry, 4 minus 4 is 0. So negative 5 divided by 0. If you try to type this in your calculator, it's going to tell you undefined, because we cannot divide by 0. Remember at the beginning, the slope formula, I told you, if you subtract from the bottom and you get 0, that's not okay. So an undefined slope is when 0 is in the denominator. The slope of a vertical line is always undefined. And remember, this is not a function because it does not pass the vertical line test. It is a vertical line. So in summary, here are 4 different kinds of slopes of lines. If I have my person and they walk, we read left to right, so if a person was going to walk across this graph, you would walk from left to right. So let's call our little person George, and he would walk up the hill. So this is a positive slope. If George was going to walk across this line, he would walk downhill. So this is a negative slope. If George was to walk across this horizontal line, that has a 0 slope. Remember, horizontal lines have 0 slope. It's not increasing or decreasing. And if George tried to walk up this vertical line, you can't walk up the wall, so the slope is undefined.